Yeah.
Koikimedia, we're bringing the world closer to your doorstep.
Koikimedia, 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 we bringing the world closer to your doorstep. Koikimedia, 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 we bringing the world closer to your doorstep. Àwọn tó lára ọ̀sán yìí náà, àwa ló máa ṣàkíyèsí. Ìgbéde lárugẹ nílẹ̀ Oòduà o, àwa gangan ni bàbá. Koikimedia, 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 ìgbéde wọn jọ sọ́dí ọjọ́ sẹ́ẹ̀. Dem never sabi wetin we carry for her. But e dey move closer before dem go sabi. I said dem never know wetin we carry for body. But e dey move closer before dem go sabi. Ọ̀kìn lọ lọ́jà ẹyẹ, ìhun ló ló lọ́jọ́. Ẹyẹ tó lórí gbogbo bí àdó ọ̀pẹ̀tẹ̀ lẹ́nu. Ká ṣiṣẹ́ fún ilẹ̀ bàbá wa. Ká ṣiṣẹ́ fún ìlú bàbá wa. Ká jùmọ̀ sowọ́pọ̀ ká lè gbójúdú àga. Odùduwà tó bá lè gbé wá. Ọmọ Odùduwà ṣègìrì. Ẹ dìde fún ẹ̀tọ́ adúláwọ̀. Ká lè jọ jùmọ̀ gbé. Gbélẹ̀ ilé rí. Káwa lè gba ògo ilẹ̀ wa. Ká ṣiṣẹ́ ká lè jọ gbàdé. Ká lè gbàdé adé adúláwọ̀. Àwa ni mọ̀lẹ́ tí yóò tàn káàkiri. Koikimedia, àwa là ń gbé tó lárugẹ.
Good morning, our listener. We greet everybody. We greet our boss, Professor Banji Akintoye. We greet Chief Sunday Adeyemo Igbowosha. We greet my boss, OLAYOMI KOIKI. We greet you. Good morning. Good morning from where you are listening to us. If you are watching us from Nigeria here, we say good morning. From outside the country, we say good morning. We greet every one of us. Welcome to the program today. Welcome to the program today. What you can help us to do is to share the program, let others see what we have to discuss today. Today's discussion will be interesting because it's an open discussion. It's an open discussion between me and my one of my brother I met today. One of my brother we met today, so we are greeting him. His identity remain unknown. We greet everybody. As you've seen, the topic is arresting Simon Ekpa the solution. That's the first question. The second question, restructuring or freedom. Apart from that, the next thing that is on this table is discussion about the another big money that our federal government want to borrow, and that is another topic to discuss today. And the current situation from home here, which is our land, Yoruba land. So the situation there, we are all going to bring everything to your doorstep. Like Koikimedia will bring the word closer to your doorstep, and we bring every situation that is going around to your doorstep. And as you are watching live and direct, this is an open discussion, open conversation between me and my sister, so my brother. So no cause for alarm. Let him be free to say what he wants to say. If it's just between us, we want to discuss, myself and my brother in my front. So, like I said, I greet all our fans, the fans of OLAYOMI KOIKI, Koikimedia, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, and handle everything. We greet you. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your liking and your sharing of the program. We pray the mighty all God will continue to bless you all. Continue to bless you all. So as you can see, it's time to go into the conversation. I will let my brother. The first thing I will be asking my brother is the current situation in this country. What can you talk about the current situation in the country? Checking everything around. What can you say? Are you pleased with it, or you have a protest in your mind to say about it?
Thank you very much for having me and for bringing the issues of public importance. As far as this issue is concerned, to me, it's very, very germane. Very germane in the sense that, personally, the country is not okay. Let me just use that word.
The
The
country is
country
not well.
is not well. It's not okay. It's not well. It's not well because looking at the political environment,
Portable singer, call am zoo.
zoo. Looking at the political environment, I can say that we are not getting it right. We are not getting it right again. The true federalism is not well guaranteed. You know, when we are talking about running a true federalism, which Nigerian claims they are operating, you know, we have the federal executive will be working on their own independently. The state will be working, local governments will be working. In a situation whereby it is the federal that will be determining what will happen in the states, in the local government. So that means we don't have a true federalism, and that's without that, the country will be in fire, be on chance. Everything will be, there will be a lot of misused.
Which we have been seeing.
Yeah, which we have been seeing, which we observed, which we have been seeing, which we observed. Things are not going on well. Things are not going on well at all.
As you can say, he said the things are not going well in this country. We are just managing, parabolating, looking for excuse, looking for who to blame. And that is what you hear from my brother. But as the thing has been going like that, things have been going like that. Are you aware that Mr. President is ready to borrow another big amount of loan from for in our name, in the name of the Nigerian? What can you say about that? Are you aware, and what can you say about it? Because they've been borrowing money. Every president that will come on, they've been borrowing money, borrowing money. How do you think they want to pay this money back? Is it not by selling our country to them? So just
Yeah, thank you very much for that question. I think I've monitored the appropriation bill written by different ministry and submitted to the Mr. President for you know for scrutiny. Under normal circumstances, there is no crime in borrowing. You know, when it comes to situation like this, each ministry will write what they will spend for each year. They will write it, then submit to Mr. President, and Mr. President will now you know pass it through the Senate and the House of Representatives. So having monitored the appropriation bill, the money is too much. The money is too much. Nigerian is going to borrow, if I don't mistakenly this figure, they're going to borrow $2.2 billion. The question now is, the subsidies they removed, they claim that they removed. We have gained a lot from subsidy removal. So the money we gain from subsidy removal, why can't they use it for to finance the budget? Yes, and that's the reason why we voted for those Senate to represent us on the behalf. Let the Senate do their normal job. So I think I am aware that the bill has gotten to the Senate for proper legislative process. And I want to believe that Senate will scrutinize the budget, they will look into the budget, they will do the necessary things. There is no crime in borrowing, like I said earlier. They can borrow, but if the borrowing can reflect what the federal government intend to do, then I pray that the borrowing.
sorry, as the previous ones be reflecting.
It has not been reflected. The money they will borrow it, and what we see is embezzlement.
Yes.
Then another, you just be surprised that after 6 months, the federal government, the president in person, we also apply for another supplementary budget, which is unconstitutional. Are you getting it? It's constitutional. Let's say it's constitutional, but it is not ethical. Let me use that word. It's not ethical. If you borrow that, let me just use this, this medium to, to advise the international community, IMF, International Monetary Fund, to stop borrowing Nigerian money. Instead of borrowing off money, they should monitor the one we have borrowed from them. Let it reflect let it reflect the claims. Let it reflect the claims so that this country will move forward. Look at Lagos Ibadan expressway. It has not yet been completed. Are you getting it? It has not yet been completed. So my own point is that the money we borrow, the gain we have seen from the subsidy removal, let the federal government use that money. Let the federal government use the money, to finance the budget. Let the federal government use the money to finance the budget instead of using borrowing. Because the implication now is that all the generation that is coming will pay for it. So what is now our fate? What is our fate?
Like my brother has asked the question, what is our fate? What is our fate? What is our fate? That is the question. The money they've been borrowing so far has not never been reflecting, and they keep on borrowing the money, and the generation to comes are to pay for this bill, are to pay for this bill. So that means the whole shit country. That means I can say Portable is right for calling Nigerian a zoo. And Simon Ekpa is also right. That brought me to the issue of Simon Ekpa. I has been checking on the news or everything, but my own question is, will arresting Simon Ekpa solve the issue of Nigeria or solve the issue going on in Southwest?
I think, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Looking at Samuel Ekpa in person, Samuel Ekpa is from the southeast, specifically in Ebonyi State. I serve in East, uh, specifically at Abia State, Umunochi local government, very close to Ebonyi State. Umunochi local government share a boundary with Ebonyi State. You know, I know I've been to equal local government in Ebonyi State. I've been to where Samuel Ekpa was. You understand? So what I'm trying to say in essence is that many people has a diverse opinion as far as some issues is concerned. I want to align myself with the Igbo leaders and Igbo elders that arresting Samuel Ekpa will not bring peace and cannot solve southeast killings, cannot be a solution to southeast killings. I think I want to align with them, and that's the reason why I will advocate for regionalism. Yes, regionalism, because if you look at the political situations in Nigeria, Igbo has been marginalized politically in the sense that looking at the top appointment of a government, looking at the hierarchy of government, they are not number one, they are not number two, they are not number three. Our president is from the southwest. The vice president is from north. The senate president is from the south. The speaker of the federal house of representatives is from the north. Tell me, we need Igbo. Are you guys? We need Igbo in this country. Are they not part of Nigerians? So coming to your question, that's the reason why I said I advocate for regionalism. Let all the Southeast have their own regional leader. Let the Southwest have their own, because a problem identified is a problem solved. They know themselves. They know the village of Samoepa. They know their problem. They know where the problem is coming. Let me just tell you, the issue that is currently going on in the South is a political fight. That's just it. That's my own personal opinion. It's a political fight.
Actually, what I will say about regional, that is another topic which have to be trash out. Like with my own understanding about this whole shit country, Our father always bring this adage saying, when the foundation of house is faulty, the best thing to do is not to paint, is not to make the ceiling fancy, because it will still fall one day. The best thing is to bring down the whole house down and restructure it up. Can't you see that the structures of that Nigerian, the old Nigerian that you are talking about, that we want to regionalize? If you still regionalize it, you are still bearing that name of Nigerian, and that Nigerian is a name given to us by a given to us from a woman, which is not even an husband, which is just a side chick. It's a side chick that gave us that name. They derived that name from the name of Niger area. Niger area. That is where they brought up the name, and it was given by a woman, by outsider. But this our home country, this is just a combination of two or three or more or five tribes together with different characters, with different attitude. Don't you think even if you still restructure it, Igbo will still be claiming on Yoruba land, say they are still Nigerian. Fulani will still be claiming Igbo land, that they are, in as much they are still in Nigerian, they still have their power. So, and what this Samerapa is fighting for? Samerapa is not fighting Fulani, is not fighting Yoruba, is not fighting Hausa. What Samerapa is only fighting for is for them to have their federalism, to have their own freedom, they have their own government in which they will have power and authority over what God has given them in their land. So if Yoruba want to go to their land, you go with their rules and regulation. I can't just come into my house without my own permission. But if I'm not the owner of the house, you can either get permission from the owner of the house and come into my own privacy. I have no power. But in as much I'm the owner of the land, you can't just come anyhow and say you want to invaded the place. That is what Simon Ekpa is also talking about, and that is what Chief Sunday Adeyemo Gugusha is also talking about. So talking about regional and restructuring, yeah, restructuring, because some people are now planning to do something on restructuring. But to my own side, restructuring will still not work. The time when restructuring can work has gone. They have should have done that during the time of Jonathan. But in as much they did not agree, the thing cannot still work.
Um,
The thing cannot still work. What is your intake? From my own side, it will not work. I want us to debate on it.
Thank you very much.
As I open
Thank
discussion.
you very much. If you look at the regime of Jonathan, there's a crisis in Nigeria, no doubt. And that's the reason why President Goodluck Jonathan called for a constitutional conference. You understand? Otherwise known as CONFAB. Some people call it CONFAB, constitutional conference. All the regional leader, political leaders, community and community leader, everybody will bring on board to talk about this current situation in the countries and to come out with the recommendations. That recommendation will now serve as a solutions, to solve Nigerians'
But they
problem.
did not allow it to hold.
Yes, if you look at the recommendation of 2015 CONFAB organized by President Goodluck Jonathan, regional government were recommended. You understand? Yes, regional government were recommended. Then this report, we still have to report on ground. I expect the current administrations, when President Buhari came on board, I'm expecting him to to look at the outcome of the constitutional conference, see what the Southeast elders leaders, because they were all there, recommend. So taking it to remedy the situation, the problem in the Southeast. But he refuses. Now this current administration under the administration of Bola Ahmed, you know, so I'm expecting him also, to look at the outcome of the 2015 confab. But what I observe is that they are, the confab have been politicized. They don't want to even see the confab. So for me, like I said earlier, we need to get it right. The Finland authority alleged that Mr. Ekpa used social media platform to spread, socialist propaganda, they incite violence and encourage illegal action, which has caused significant destruction in the southeast. That's the allegations of the Finland authority. Are you getting it? Finland authority knows that Simon Ekpa exists in their country, but Nigerian government used diplomatic pressure. Let me just use that word, diplomatic pressure, to fish out Samuel Ekpa. Are you getting it? So to me, there is a way of I don't support Samuel Ekpa. I don't say what he's doing is good or what he's doing is right. But my own position now is that there is a way of advocating for justice, advocating for something. You do it in a legitimate way. Are you getting it now? Some people are on the view that when they release Nnamdi Kanu, the Southeast will be at peace. Some will say that arresting Samuel Ekpa is not the major solution to the major problem. Southeast, I repeat it, they know themselves. They know themselves. Let we have regional leader.
But Finland authority once told Nigerian government that anything about Ekman has to be done according to the law because Finland citizen was involved because he's also a Finland.
Of course.
So he was also involved.
Of course.
And talking about Samuel Ekman was never the first freedom fighter. They've seen Mandela too. Mandela was also jailed, but at last he still won the freedom for their people. We've seen a lot. Chief Sunday Adeyemo Sorosha was also arrested, but has been freed because checking the law, international law, he has never committed any crime. But talking about Nigerian, they know how they tame people for doing those, fighting for standing for freedom. And this thing does not start with Simon Akman. It was when they refused to release Mazin Adekano. They refused to release this man, and despite the fact that court accept the bail, but they did not. So what can you say?
What I know is that every country has their own laws. Law exists. The law of Finland is quite different from the law of Nigeria. Let the Finland authority undo Asame Ekpa case. Let them decide whether he has committed the offense. We are not in the best position to judge. Let the law prevail. Yes, let the law prevail because the law is blind. Let the Finland judicial authority do scrutinize, looking into that matter, and then let them do the needful. Because I know that after the law, after the judgment, the federal government will still use its diplomatic power, bringing Samuel Ekpa down to Nigeria, and also, I mean, don't be surprised that Samuel Ekpa will still come to Nigeria and face the law. And if Samuel Ekpa should come to Nigeria, I don't think that what will happen, what has happened to Nazi and Abdekan will also happen to Ekpa because in constitution treason, the case of treason is very germane. If you are alleged of treason, treasonable felony is a very critical aspect in law. You can never.
But sorry to cut you short. Do you really understand the cost they are carrying, what they are clamoring for? Samuel Akpan, Mazin Adekano,
Yes,
Sunday Go,
yes.
even some Fulani are
Yes,
also
yes. They are,
clamoring
they
for
are,
it. Do
they
you
are, they are,
understand
they
it?
are, they are agitating for freedom.
And do you know what freedom is all about?
Yes, I know freedom. Yeah, freedom can come in many ways. I've listened to the song of Lucky Dube. He said, freedom, freedom. Yeah, we all need freedom. Mandela has once advocated for freedom. Freedom can come in many ways. Some people will say freedom can come in a way of not by
Dialogue,
not dialogue. Permit me to use this revolution.
revolution.
Yes, some
That
people
is
are
civil disobedience of
revolution.
others.
And this is the word revolution. If we are not very careful, revolution can come in many ways. It can come in violence, can come in peaceful. It depends on how you define your own revolution. Are you getting it? So this case, I understand the fact that In Amazim Nandikano, Simon Ekpa, they are advocating for freedom for Southeast. Sunday at the advocating for freedom for
Some Fulani
Southeast.
men are also rising.
Some Muslim men are also rising, and that's the reason why I said let us go for regionalism. It has worked in the past. Previously, it has worked. Regionalism has worked. You know, let the Igbo control their resources. Let them manage what they have. Let the Yoruba manage what they have. Let the Hausas let them manage what they have. Look at now. The North are chasing. The North are chasing the Eastern people from their why some the same case also applicable in the Southeast. That means we don't operate in oneness. We don't operate in love in this country. I want one Nigeria. That is what I want. I want one Nigeria. Now our political system as I don't know how to how will I put it. Let us get it right. If you get it right politically.
Can I ask you one question? Because it's an open conversation, so I can. What are the benefits you are benefiting from one Nigerian? What can you really say achievements so far since the independence of one Nigerian? What can you just talk about the achievements?
To be sincere with you, the achievement I am aware is during the military regime, specifically during regime Gowon, during the regime of administration of
When different
the
states are
former
created.
military head of state, General Yakubu Gowon in 1973. Such as the establishment of NYC in 1973, the changing of naira to paper. Look at 5 naira then. Some people, if you have 5 naira, you can feed family, you can buy car. But compared to now, eh, I'm having 2,000 naira now. 2,000 naira now. If I want to go to the Bekomba, the 2,000 naira cannot. Everything has been. You understand. So I can say Nigeria has recorded achievement from military regime. Now look at all our bridges. If you have been to Southeast, we have a Tomiland Bridge. I've been that Tomiland Bridge linked in the Delta, to Anambra. That bridge was built in the past regime, past administration. The military regime. So I cannot say that Nigerian has. So the what I would say that Nigerian has achieved, I don't know. I don't even know because our petroleum, there's a high cost of inflations.
Everything is off.
Everything is off. Inflation everywhere. I don't know. I just urge the government to.
I still want to bring an illustration. Something here happened in UK when the UK government are pleading the people immigrants coming to their land, that they are pleading them, they are begging that they will give them money so that they can live, because the land, there is no space for their own indigenous people, their citizens. So they want those people to go. Can that thing be done if it was regional government, like we begging Hausas in Yoruba to go because we want to? If it was a regional government, do you think that can be possible?
It depends on the law. Like I said earlier, that every country has their own law.
No.
Look at the Trump now. Trump, the first agenda of Trump. If you look at the white paper of what Trump has written down to govern the US, is to relocate the illegal migrants back to their destinations, back to their countries. Are you getting it? If there's a regional government, eh, I'm not saying that let Hausa go to their land. No, we can live together in oneness. But the regional government does not mean that all the foreigners, if you are not from that state, you go to your state. No, you can be in that state, but it is the eastern people that will govern instance. The westerner will govern westerner, while the southerner will be governed northerner. That is oneness Nigeria. Are you getting it? So that is it. Look at your state as an example, Ibadan precisely. Look at all those houses that you observe. We have many Eastern people here building now, having a business. Okay? Igbo are known for business. No one is independent. We are all dependent on each other. Go to Ogunpa, Aleshne, Igbo, there are many there. Go to Elele, you see Hausa bringing tomato and alubosas. I guess the Hausas are buying goods, Igbo are buying alubosas. So that is why I said no one is independent. We are all dependent on each other. So advocating for regional government does not mean that all the foreigners, all the Eastern from the north should go to their no. But what we are saying that let not govern north, let Eastern govern East.
Let not govern
North,
north, let Eastern govern Eastern,
yes, that's
and let.
yes, yeah, that is it.
So that is your own resolution on
That's your
everything.
own
Let
resolution.
each tribe, southern.
Do you know the reason now? You cannot just come to my community. I know my community more than you. I cannot go to the community of I cannot go to a world. Started looking for, look at Idia Bere during the time of 1 million boys. Idia, if you don't be surprised that if you enter one community, one village at Idia, all those boys they know the corner of that place. They know their problem. They know if there is any war at Idia now, they can fish out the person among themselves.
So it's best to organize.
Yes, they know themselves.
They know themselves. So in this southwest should govern southwest because they know themselves well. But one of my brother is asking a question. His name is Innocent Armless. He's a Biafra guy. He said, please ask the guests to tell us where revolution is being done peacefully in Nigeria.
Yes. Do you know what? Yes, yeah. That person is very correct. And if you look at my previous statement, I said it depends on how you defined your revolution. You cannot achieve change, as the word implies. Revolution means change. You cannot achieve this revolution by constituting nuisance. It cannot solve the problem. It can only put the
Use
country.
NSAS as an example, sir.
Yes.
NSAS was a revolution, but
Very
it
good. Let me
was
use that NSAS
the government
as
did not
as
manage
an
it.
example. Now, everybody will say NSAS. So now, let me put it to you. What is the outcome of NSAS?
The fault come from
The
the government.
people that fought for NSAS, they are still in the custody. They are still remanded in the
So
prison.
who are to blame?
That is why I say you can't achieve revolution by chaos, by conflict, by having a destructions here and there. There's a lot of things. No, it is because we are developing country. That is why they call us developing country. Look at the Western country like the US and all those things. If they want to revolutionize, they gather themselves in a peaceful way, putting placards, they will not fight. And at the end of the day, they will arrest the attention of government, and government will attend to them. But in Nigeria, no, they will still continue to 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 to, to revolutionize, as you said, but in a peaceful way. See, if you have identified a problem. Let's ask our question that this EPA Nanikano, evolution or no evolution, everything lies on Nigerian political system. We are not getting it right. That is the reason why those non-state actors, Tamepa is a non-state actor, Nanikan is a non-state actor, Sunday Igboho is a non-state actor. When the governments fail, international relations, they will tell you that when the government fails, the non-state actors will rise. When the government fails to do what he is expecting to do, the non-state actors will outshine the incumbent governor. That is it.
Thank you, my brother. To our listener, we call this an open conversation. That is why we have to allow everybody to speak their mind, to be open. So we must always hear ourselves well, hear others people's opinion, and then educate them. But with what my guest was talking about, he also admits that the best thing is to allow each tribe to be in charge of their governments, to be in charge of their resources. But if they are talking about regional government just give a partial It give partial authority for the region to do some things, but not all things. The federal government, if the Nigerian still holds, that means the federal resources will still remain the federal property, just the law they have. But if people go on a separate way, Yoruba go for their own Yoruba nation, Biafra go for Biafra nation, Arewa go for Arewa their own thing. The benefit there is more, which I will state some now. If you are a Yoruba and you have your own government inside this your Yoruba nation, it will give a room for you to expand your local government, because the local governments in Yoruba are too big, which the counting is too small compared to what we have in North. They have many local governments in North. That is the power they have over us in the time of political counting. And we having our own separate nation, we give a room to have the numbers of the visitors inside our land. Now, if you go to UK know the numbers of foreigner that is in their country as we speak, and they know the numbers of their people inside. Even they know the numbers of their people outside the country. But in the case of this Nigerian government, we don't even know how many Fulani is here in Yoruba land. We don't know where they are living, which make it difficult for our farmers to enter into the farm to farm. That is what bring the issue of crisis of food scarcity, because farmers are not even free to go into that farm again, because this Fulani, when they enter, they don't stay where you can see them, they stay where you cannot see them, which can never be happen if we have our own power. Looking at the olden days when the king be in charge of the land, this thing can't happen. They will have fought a war, because the king know that the has Bale that are Mongaji that oversees different areas, and they have power then to check what are you doing here, what are you doing here. But in this time of government thing, if Bale should go and meet one Sheriki that's located to Yoruba land, he will tell them, I'm a Nigerian, so you have no power over me. So that useless our kingship, our this traditional people, because not like before when we value this our tradition and culture, but now we don't value tradition and culture. Even our language is fading out. Because I could remember when we were small, we talk a lot about Owe, Owele Yoruba. Ọmọ mélòó ló mọ òwe pamọ́ sí? How many children can just tell you 5 proverbs without checking any book? Is nowhere to be found, because we've already lost that culture. We've lost that our tradition in the name of one Nigerian. Say, you want one Nigerian, one Nigerian that is not bringing a solution to the table. 60 years of independence, nothing to show for it. And we are trying to paint it. I'm not blaming Tinubu, because the foundation has already been faulty. So he was just there. So without doing it from the scratch, and without setting a round table calling Igbo, Yoruba, Hausa, what do you want? What do you want? What can we do? Make it open. Then listen to what people. Biafra doing their referendum. And the reason why I don't blame Samuel Hackman is because Samuel Hackman they've also tried what they could do. Do you believe that if Sunday Adeyemo would try to do it in a legal way, that is why they did not do it in a fight, in a war way? And could you believe that sometimes ago, Chief Sunday Adeyemo went to drop a letter to Prime Minister, and what was the outcome of the letter? They still go ahead and sabotage that letter, but the letter still remain there. So does that mean people cannot have their rights inside? Because if you fight for rights in this kind of country, in this Nigerian, they will bring you down with their power. Then why will you not blame those that do it in a violent way? We don't have to blame those that do it in a violent way, because what has happened to Samuel Hackman has already been happening in the past. There is someone that fights for Indian freedom too. I forgot his name. He fought for their own
Let me
freedom
let
too.
me let me just chip in because let me establish the fact. Let me correct that impression. You cannot achieve anything with violence. I repeat, you cannot achieve anything with violence. There is a constitutional way of doing things. I'm still on my point. You know, we need to go back to the olden days. Go and check local government reform of 1976, which empowered the traditional rulers, to do, you know, local government reform of 1976. I recommend it to our esteemed listeners. Go and check it. When the federal government empower the local government, they will do the necessary things. But now, what do we see? Local government, I mean, the traditional rulers, they don't have powers
At all.
Go and check the 1999 constitution. The 1999 constitution of Nigeria does not empower the traditional ruler. And
Is
that's
that
the
good?
reason why they are clamoring for, they are advising the federal government to empower them. Constitutionally, under local government reforms of 1976, traditional rulers is under local government. They are not under state government. They are under local government. Local government chairman has power. They know their community. Every problem is local. Every conflict is local. Every conflict starts from local government. Are you getting what I'm trying to say? That is it. And that is why I say if there is any crisis, the local government chairman will bring the security report from that local government before he now get to the state, before state now direct it to the federal government. What we are still saying is that we did not get it right. We need to check our laws. We need to check the constitutions. We need to check the local government reforms of 1976. It's like we are still in slave. Look at the statement of the Sokoto Bishop Martins Kuka. I want to use this opportunity, to commend the Bishop of Sokoto Diocese, Bishop Martins Kuka. He has spoken truth to the power. Yes, I would love his courage, because if you look at the Vanguard, the headlines to today say that the Obasanjo, he alleged Obasanjo, Buhari, Tinubu, others said they are unprepared. Which is true. They are unprepared because they fail to find solution to what is currently happening in Nigeria. People want to live by all costs. Corruption everywhere, kidnapping. What do you see? Everything lies in government because they fail to do what they like. My own advice for those people, not only limited to the southeastern, so
Before you round it up, let's just go a short break
okay.
before you round it up. And after we finish this short break, we'll be rounding it up and you'll be having our own submission on the conversation. So
Kásá ẹgbẹ́ polówó ọjà wá kájé bùbá yín jẹ. À ń gbèsò lárugẹ, à ń gbàgbà lárugẹ. News and sports ẹ máa rí gbọ́. Ọmọ Ìjẹ̀bú alárẹ̀mí ló ní kí n máa ké dandan. Koikimedia ọ̀rọ̀ lágbájú mọ̀ mi. Máa bá ṣẹ̀rẹ̀ lọ. Ọmọ Yorùbá nìyẹn, ọmọ Yorùbá àtàtà o. À ń gbádùn rẹ̀, ọmọ Ìjẹ̀bú alárẹ̀mí. Ṣẹ́yìn lọ máa fi ìdìbò tẹ̀ mọ́lẹ̀. Ẹ̀yin lọ́mọ onígbò máa ń dé máa. Ẹ̀yin lọ́mọ onígbò máa wọ̀ o. Igbó máa wọ̀ gbàjọ́jì ò gbọ́dọ̀ wọ. Àjòjì tó bá wọ bẹ̀, á bẹ̀rẹ̀ ní ẹbọra. Ẹ̀yin lọ́mọ náwó òyìnbó tó dé. Ìgbà tó yìnbó dé o, owó náà dẹ́kun pọ̀ sí o. Koikimedia ṣàwà ní bàbá. Koikimedia àwọn ní bàbá. Àdàsọ àtòpèrè nílẹ̀.
ní in submission, I will ask my brother, if you have opportunity to advise the president, to advise the federal government, what will be your total submission about this Ichi tribe that you talked recently?
And my advice, my own parting shots for the federal government, advice for the federal government is that
To allow.
yes, they should allow peace to reign. They should come to, I mean, they should hear the voice of the masses. The voice of the people should be heard. You know, they should relieve the masses of this pain. They should lower the cost of petroleum price. They control the NNPC. Let Nigerians enjoy the dividends of a democracy. Yes, let everything come into normalcy and let them use the money they gain from subsidy removal to finance the national budget. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Yeah,
my brother. Thank you for your time.
thank you very
And
much.
God Almighty will continue to
Amen.
strengthen you.
Amen.
To our viewers at home,
Mm.
we greet you for standing with us, for your time, for your data, for your fans, for everything. We say thank you. We give you kudos for that. Like we said earlier, he said in his own words too that the best advice is to allow each tribe to have power over their land. But with his own definition, he give that definition a regional government. He's saying his own meaning of regional government is allow each tribe to have power over their land and to give autonomous power to our traditional leaders. That is part of what summit is also about. So I will greet Chief Sunday Adeyemo, we greet Simon Ekpa, we greet Nnadi Madikano, we greet all the elders in Igbo land, elders in Yoruba land, and others. Koikimedia will bring the world closer to our doorstep, and we are bringing this live to you today, 25th of November 2024. Today, time 10:30 a.m. We greet everybody for your own conversation, and we'll still be bringing a lot of people to this kidney. But before I go, my brother Sikiru Abidin say something. Let every ethnic group become an independent nation, please. That is the only solution. We have the population, resources, and manpower ability to being an independent. Yes, that is what my brother said, and I like that submission. Let every ethnic group become an independent nation, please. That is the only solution. We have the population and resources and the manpower ability to become an independent. Thank you for your time you spend with us. We greet all our fans. We greet all our boss. God will continue to strengthen you all. Thank you for joining us. We won't see more than this today. If you have another time, we shall come online. Thank you.
So, my friend,